Hello and welcome to Commodity Champions. I'm Manisha Gupta and this is a special one that we get to you from Mewa, India 2025. This is the second edition happening right here at Geo Convention Center, and very important because one, we've seen higher numbers come in here, and also important from India's perspective because we are looking at India continuing to be a major consumer of almonds, cashews, dates and much more there. And also India, this is an important season here because we do see demand growth increase, especially in winters, and also because this is wedding season. So what does this summit mean, where we have various international associations and countries taking part of? Joining me are very eminent people here. I have with me Mr. Gunjan Jain, who from Natraj, Rajiv Pabreja is from Commodities Trading Corporation, and Yash Gauli from Candor Foods. They also are NDFC's founding members. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I'll start with you, Gunjan, first. And you started NDFC. You guys started NDFC last year. What was the reason behind that? Because we do understand that dry fruit majorly is a very unorganized market. So is this an opportunity or a way to bring everybody together?
Yeah, that was exactly the intent. The nuts and dried fruit market today stands at a whopping $8 billion on a retail level. And there was no national body that was unifying all of us together to get us together to have one common body, one voice, with the honorable government, with various international boards, and just getting the whole industry together as a family. So the Vasudev Kutumba, we really took that when our Prime Minister Modi ji said that, and we said we want to have a nuts and dried fruit world together, the Vasudev Kutumba of nuts and dried fruit. So that's where the idea of NDFC came.
So Gunjan, this is not just the largest in India. From what we understand from the scale of it, this perhaps is the largest international gathering that we've seen.
Yeah, for the nuts and dried fruit world, Mewa 25, which is the flagship event that we do for the NDFC to get all our members together, it's become the international event for nuts and dried fruit, and the response has been phenomenal. Any origin you can think of, whether it was US, Chile, Argentina, there are countries which still do not have a phytosanitary protocol with India, but they have a 20-people delegation visiting us. We've had a launch of Turkish dried fruit here. We have had a very major press conference releasing the health benefits on pistachios on Indian by a very major Indian doctor. So lots of stuff happening. You can see the display we have. That's the world of nuts and dried fruit. Close to about 100 different displays, varieties here to talk about. That's the scale of the nuts and dried fruit world.
Rajiv, so people come together, and as Gunjan said, if there are 7,000 people here, they are clearly looking to network, expand and do business. So what are those kind of numbers looking like?
See, this is one of the biggest, as Gunjan told, this is one of the biggest gathering on the nuts and all the dry fruits. If you see total, the business will be more than $50 million of business is going on here. Or you find each and every supplier in the world of nut is here, and nobody wants to miss. If he's missing, that means he's not in the business of nuts and dry fruit. He has to be here, then the business is going on. People are all the way flying from every corner of the world. You find flying out here. We had a one-day cricket match here also, as I told you, and 3 days of networking, business, fun, and a lot of business is going on.
Yash, Make in India, as Gunjan pointed out, and that perhaps is the thing going forward from here. I want to understand the mathematics here. When you talk about Make in India, what is India doing right now? What are the kind of imports that we have? And what is the demand growth that India does see in sense of dry fruits?
So Manisha, most of the dry fruits and nuts are traditionally imported. We do have our own crop as well, which is for raisins, for cashews, and for walnuts. But for what India can consume, we don't grow as much, and that's one of our agendas at NDFC, that we're going to be promoting that along with support of the government, and trying to see our farmers and our cooperatives kind of getting together and growing these cash crops, and India is consuming, right? So, but traditionally, or I think we're more importing dates from the Middle East, importing nuts from Australia and California, and we import them in big numbers. So India, and for all of us in India, we've been traditional consumers of all the nuts and dry fruits on a daily basis.
Yes, since we're talking about imports right now, and look at the global markets, and we're looking at tariffs, we're looking at currency being very, very volatile. How is the dry fruit as an industry reacting to all of this?
So these are challenging times for the whole industry, and I'm sure it's for the other commodities as well. But food being very, very basic, and it's a staple now. We look at almonds and raisins and cashews being staple. So I think the consumers are reeling with it, and we've as an association, we've gone out to the government. We've been giving some representation that we need to look favorably to our industry, look at the GST, look at the customs tariffs, and the other things that could enable our consumers to have nutritious food, and all of which is highly, highly nutritious, right? So we hope that we'll
you're heard very soon, that you're loved more. All right. Gunjan, we do import a lot, we do consume a lot as well, and there was a time that dry fruit demand was very cyclical. As I mentioned, winters, wedding season, gifting, Valentine, does that do anything for your business at all?
Valentine, not so
Not
much.
so much.
I would love to have, I wish instead of a rose, if there were boys gifting girls chocolate-coated almonds or chocolate-coated nuts. We have to start a revolution to do that. So that's something I mentioned. Yash talked about farmers, and two things I want to mention. We have been highly motivated by our Prime Minister. So we wanted to do a Make in India. So earlier, this show is a classic example of Make in India. Earlier, we were sending all people out. We were going out to international shows to buy nuts. All the buyers, all the sellers used to be there. We used to go to Gulf Food and other conferences. This is for the first time when we created. So instead of foreign exchange going out, this is the first time that the foreign exchange is coming back into India. All the sponsorship. This show is 100% based on sponsorships from the various growers and grower organizations across the globe, because they wanted to come in India and have the visibility. If you'll see all the sponsor names, you'll see all foreign people sponsoring. So we've got a lot of foreign exchange into India. It's kind of a Make in India campaign where all of them are coming into India. There's tourism increasing. All the hotels are booked out. 7,000 people, a lot of them foreign visitors. So you can imagine all that in a small way. The nuts and dried fruit industry is adding to the Make in India dream of Modi ji.
It sure is. Let me also come to you, Rajiv, then, and let's talk about the growth as well in sense of numbers. I remember talking to you last time, and you said it's increasing by 10, 15, 18% as well in sense of some dry fruits. How do you look at the vision now? How is 2025 looking to you as you meet all these people here?
See, we think that actually the ratio will go on because it's a healthy nut. And I think again the 18%, I think the growth should be 15 to 18% minimum. It will not go down. People are, especially see this, the middle class is growing up, and now they prefer to have nuts. And as you were talking about the Valentine, I heard people buying rose almonds because there are some rose flavored almonds also there. So you will see little different varieties also. Regarding growth, there will be no stop. Everything is growing fast, and India will be soon in top every nut. Now we are in top 3 for 3 nuts. You will find everything in next 5 years. We will be topping in pistachios. We'll be talking, and other nuts are also coming up. Exotic nuts which were not coming to India, they are also in a big demand in India now.
Well, yes, I saw macadamia and some hazelnuts and a lot of things.
Nuts, macadamia, Brazil nuts, and pecans. Every nut is coming up. And 2 days back, you will say that Shah Rukh Khan wife, that she did the promotion for the, she started eating pecan nuts.
Oh yeah, oh well, that is happening. Yes, this one is to you then. And even as we are looking at various categories in the markets, we've seen dried fruits come into the business. Makhana, I was talking to Gunjan earlier, and there are big numbers continuing here. What categories would you say is surging, growing faster than the other when you look at within the space?
Definitely the new nuts, since the base is so low, so you're going to see a much higher growth number there. But most of the categories across the board, depending on the supply and the crop size, we expect them to grow. Just the fact that there are so many visitors, growers, processors here in the room behind me, we're all here to do business, right? They want to sell it to India, and if the rates are good, we're going to buy more, and we're going to spread that out across our country. The categories that we look are going to grow more majorly are the ones with a smaller base. So things like, again, exotic nuts, some of the berries, prunes. I think they're all very healthy products. And we also see a lot of emphasis from the marketing boards. So as and how you start seeing more advertisements, Jasmeet Bumrah is the brand ambassador for California pistachios. I'm sorry, all the young consumers are going to look up to all the sportsmen and the idols, and they're going to start consuming that. So I think we're going to see a lot more, growth coming in our industry, and we're very excited.
Absolutely. So before we go to a break, Gunjan, a last question. And while Makhana board is on now, any other boards that the dry fruit industry is pushing for with the government now?
Actually, the Nuts and Dried Fruit Council on its own will try to act as that bridge and be the kind of a quasi, I wouldn't say we want to be a board, but that's the thing. We want to represent the whole industry, look for growth, look for development. We are doing marketing efforts on our own. We have done free tree plantations to the farmers. We did a plantation drive for cashew nut plants. We've done a plantation drive for walnut plants. For the first time, Indian government has allowed now the phytosanitary protocol to import good planting material, because we did not have planting material. So there's a protocol now in place, and we will be looking at higher plantations in India. But that's again one of the dreams, as Yash mentioned, to bring that up. So not a board as such, but these activities, if we can do marketing, we're starting to do small level marketing. Okay. What we would look forward to is maybe if the government can help, like in the international world, USDA for US, in fact, they give an equal kind of a budget, or like a reciprocal, like if the trade today adds a budget of, let's say, $100, they get a $100 grant, and that $200 then can be used to market, and that's what's happening for their growers and their crops. If we could have some kind of an arrangement like that, we as a trade body have come forward. We will have the funds. We want to market the health benefits of these nature's health pills in India. So we would love to do that. Indian consumers need to eat more of nuts and dried fruit.
Yes, so very excited team here we can see, and a lot of hopes and aspirations as well. Thank you guys so much for joining in, and with that we'll go for a very short break. But after this break we'll take you exactly inside the area and show you all of those dry fruits and talk to some more guests.